I'm really proud of my pulled pollo sandwich, and I have waited to make this video until the audience is big enough that people are going to see this, and it's finally there. We're just about to hit 4,000 subscribers. Blowing my mind. I have no idea how this happened, but stuff like this is probably the reason. And you're welcome. That's the pulled pollo sandwich right there that I have been dying to share with you. It is that good. You're going to want to see this because that thing will change your life. Just like all of you watching this changed my life. So thank you. And my gift is my recipe for the pulled pollo sandwich. Let's get started making this thing. So the sandwich is definitely going to need some coleslaw on it, so I'm going to make some coleslaw real fast. I'm going to use my handy dandy V-slicer mandolin thing. You can't, these are hard to buy like this anymore. This one's old. Everything I have is old. Trust me. But what's going to go in this? We got some green cabbage, some red cabbage. I have some red onion in this because this is going on a barbecue sandwich. A little bit of red onion. Oh, it's so good. I love that. And some carrot because who likes to see better? This guy. Okay, we're just going to do this really fast. We don't need a ton because I'm only making a few sandwiches. If you're making a lot, make a lot. There you go. Adjust your proportions accordingly. But we are just going to take our slicer here. Try not to lose any digits. I don't know about you, but I wasn't born with an extra one, so I'm going to be somewhat careful. I hate saying that before I use this thing because that's how they get you. This is on the smallest setting because I'm one of those people who's of the opinion coleslaw should be very fine. And I like, if I do say so myself, I make a very fine coleslaw. See? It's very fine. Remember, coleslaw does break down when you dress it. We're going to dress this a little bit in advance so it has a chance to kind of break down and do its thing. The acids in there are going to help knock that down, so we do need a fair amount, but I'm making enough for 2 sandwiches. Keep that in mind. Okay, there's our purple cabbage, red cabbage, whatever you want to call it. It is purple, so I can't argue either way. I've heard it both ways. Okay, we have red onion, also known as purple onion. I don't know. Anybody ever say that? I don't know. I'm using the guard for this. Because, dang, that thing's sharp. Okay, I'm also going to, this is kind of a weird onion. It's one of those giant, huge, wide ones. So it makes really big pieces here. I'm going to actually cut this into smaller pieces because I don't want big giant pieces in here. I mean, this is almost unusable, if I'm being honest. I'm not a fan of that. That is the wrong kind of onion. I'm not going to use it because you have to make decisions like this on the fly in cooking because the ingredients you work with are the ingredients you have. That's it. If you can't find the perfect onion, maybe you get lucky and maybe it's okay. But that piece of onion right there is really going to throw the balance of this off. And I'm not doing it. I'm not putting it in there because it's going to taste like crap. So that is the kind of thing you have to learn and develop the skills and be able to say, that ain't going to work. Screw it. All right, move on, adapt. We're moving to our carrots. Shredded carrots in this are fantastic. You can buy bags of shredded carrots. They're great. They're awesome. You can also buy a carrot shredder. This is a simple little device, has a series of teeth on it and a cutter on there. It is lethal if you were a squirrel. Otherwise, it will just really tear your fingers to pieces. So do be careful, but just go along. Look, it makes nice shreds. I'm going to leave these here because I'm going to cut these into smaller pieces so you don't have foot-long shreds. But yeah, I usually do the first swipe on that side and then put this down, face down. So I've got a solid flat surface for this to go against. It makes it a little bit more easy, more simple, more easier. Good said. Yep. And then we have this piece left over. Gee, I wonder who would help me eat this. Yeah, I think she will. My dogs love vegetables. By vegetables, I mean bacon, cheese, you know, all the important food groups. All right, this is going in here. And again, sadly, we don't have my red onion to go in this, but this is my basic slaw right here. There's going to be going on top of that. Now we're just going to make a dressing. I'm going to clean this up and be back in 1 second. In order to dress our coleslaw, we're going to need dressing for our coleslaw. That's why they call it dressing, and that's why you call it dressing the coleslaw. I didn't make that up. I might have. Mayonnaise based, obviously. The recipe for this, I kind of wing it, eyeball things as I go. But it's essentially a cup of mayonnaise. We got, what, about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I've got some fresh squeezed lime juice. My limes, I just found out, didn't make it. So, back up, it'll work. I have some honey, which I think I already said. Salt and pepper going in this. A lot of people like to put celery seed or celery salt or something like that. Yeah, I'm not a fan. You know what I do like to put in there? A little bit of hot sauce. What? This is going on a... Okay, first of all, the coleslaw is supposed to be your refuge from the heat, from all of that. A nice, clean, crisp, refreshing bite. No, not in my house. In my house, it sneaks up on you, bites you in the ass. That is what coleslaw is supposed to do. So that's what my coleslaw does. And that's why I have some habanero salsa here. Okay. We're not making a ton of coleslaw, so how much dressing do we need? Not the full amount. That's why I'm eyeballing this. Because how much do you... Come on, you're not making the exact amount, are you? No. Okay, apple cider vinegar. You have to have this because it's gonna... Acid is what breaks this down and releases the flavors of the cabbage and the rest of that. So you have to have acid in this. I prefer apple cider vinegar. I have 2 teaspoons going down in this because I'm a little over half a cup, 3/4 of a cup of that. Honey, come on, you gotta have honey because it should have a little bit of sweetness to it, especially when you go crazy with the other stuff. All right, so our fresh squeezed lime juice, hey, is what it is. Go about a teaspoon of that. Half as much lime juice as you put in vinegar is good rule. I'm gonna put about 4 drops of this in there. This stuff is fairly potent. Yeah, don't tell anybody. Okay, salt and pepper. Pepper is my favorite. Don't tell salt. It's a little loose, which is good. Other things you could put in this. If you wanted to put a splash of Mexican sour cream in this. Oh, so good. So good. Any other herbs or spices? You can kind of go crazy with this a little bit. But yeah, let's see what we got. Ooh, that's naughty. Yeah, just that little bit that dances on your tongue is like, what is in that? Yeah, it's naughty. Okay, we're just going to dress this here real quick. And yes, I'm using all of it. Not right away though. Save a little in reserve just in case you didn't need all of it, but come on, we're gonna need all of it. Okay, that is our coleslaw. This really needs to sit. We're gonna cover this because it has mayonnaise in it. If you don't cover the mayonnaise, it separates and then you get, was it ptomaine poison or botulism? One of those things. You get one of those things and not the good kind. So cover this, put it in the fridge for at least an hour, and then we're gonna use it. All right, to make our pulled pollo, we need pollo. And if you don't know, pollo in Spanish is chicken. I'm assuming you knew that because that's a chicken breast. You could have put 2 and 2 together. And you have the Google box, so you can always translate. What do I have? I have my Billy Bob's Black Label Dry Rub on here. This is my proprietary blend that I'm not sharing because I'm putting this in a bottle at some point soon, hopefully. I'm trying somewhere around the first of the year, maybe for grilling season next spring. Turns out it's kind of hard to get this stuff bottled. You got to do huge volumes. Not the cheapest thing in the world, but I'm working on it. It is coming. So we are going to put this on liberally because I know the guy that makes this stuff. I get it for free. Just say, it's good to know people. We're going to put a little bit on that side. We're going to flip this over and put a little bit on this side. Yes, I washed my chicken breast. It's controversial. Some people do, some people don't. I always have, except one time, and I got salmonella. The only time I've ever had salmonella in my entire life is the one time I didn't wash the chicken. Not saying that's what caused it, or I would have got it otherwise. You can't prove a negative, but causation or correlation. Don't know which one. Those are just big fancy words I heard somewhere. I don't know what they mean. But we've got dry rub on this thing. I'm going to put this in the fridge about at least 30 minutes to an hour, something like this. I'm not going to cover it because it's not going to be in there that long. But this is going to sit in the fridge. Some of those flavors are going to soak into this thing, and then we're putting it on the grill. We're going to add a little bit of smoke on the grill as well to get this an extra barbecue-y wonderfulness. But basically that's about that. This next time you see this, it'll be on a grill taking some heat. All right, be back in a minute. To help get some of that barbecue-y flavor in this, we're going to use a wood chip packet with some aluminum foil, some hickory chips, some mesquite chips. You have to use chips, not chunks. It won't work if you use chunks. So we're just going to fold this up, crimp the edges on this to hold the wood chips in. You don't have to go too crazy with that. But we're just going to take a knife and tear a bunch of holes in this to let the smoke out. We're going to throw that on our grill. We got the grill just under 400 degrees, something like that. It's going to take about 40 minutes to cook this chicken breast because it is nice and thick. You see the smoke coming out of our wood chips there, adding beautiful flavor to this. Check your temperatures. 160, 165 is what you're looking for. Give it an extra poke just to make sure, and then let's pull this off and take it inside for the next step. Chicken's off the grill. We got it to 160 inside because it's thick and we didn't want to cook the hell out of it. Cook it at about 400 degrees, something like that. Medium-ish temp. It does take quite a while. It's took about 40 minutes to cook, believe it or not. That gave it good time to get lots of smoke on it. We don't need that. What we do need is 2 of these. Okay, we're just going to get in here and pull. I've let this cool down a little bit because if you don't, all the juices go flying everywhere, and no bueno. We're just gonna pull this chicken apart. You don't have to over shred this. You want this. You want some chunks. But yeah, maybe that size right there is kind of ideal. So try and get everything about that size. If it's slightly smaller, slightly bigger, I won't tell anybody. Okay, the chicken is all shredded up and perfect. This looks about great. Let's talk about the sauce real fast because you're going to sauce this. Yes, I should be making my own barbecue sauce. And I can give you a recipe for making barbecue sauce. But I'm not doing that today because there's a million other things going on at the moment. And I want this a nice kind of, not overly long thing. So I'm mixing sauces. This makes a great sauce. It's fantastic. These are 2 very popular sauces, Sweet Baby Ray's and Stubbs. These are the originals. These are the OG stuff that they have. I usually mix this 2 parts Baby Ray's, Sweet Baby Ray's to 1 part Stubbs. Put this in here. As you can see, we're just going to mix that up a little bit here. So yeah, just eyeball 2 to 1. That's about it. And the great thing about these flexible cutting boards, yeah, that's about as easy as it gets, isn't it, folks? We're going to mix this up really good. How much sauce do you need? Just enough to coat this. And it's a little bit more than you think it is because chicken has nooks and crannies. This is going on the stove for a second on a low heat. We're just going to let this simmer, get hot. That's why we didn't overkill the chicken. That's basically it. When this is hot, it starts to bubble a little bit. We are going to be ready to make our pulled pollo sandwiches. I'm hungry, so let's get this thing on the heat. In case you didn't know what putting chicken in a pot over a stove looked like, this is it. There you go. Now I think it's time to assemble a sandwich. All right, everything is done. Everything is fantastic, and it smells so good. I cannot wait to assemble this, so we are going to not do that. We're going to not wait. We are going to assemble. So what's the first thing goes down this? Well, it's a chicken sandwich. So, of course, pickles. Come on. We're putting some of these pickles down. These are sweet, and these are the bread and butters. They're delicious. We do not need to put anything down on this because we have so much juice from our chicken. It is barbecue-y, delicious, so we're not going to put any mayonnaise or any sort of dressing or anything like that. We have plenty of that in our slaw, so we don't need to put any on there. We're going to put an abundant amount of chicken on this. Dare I say stupid amount? Okay, that looks pretty good. It's hot. So we're putting a slice of Swiss cheese down on this. Oh, it's getting cheese on it, and it's not American cheese. Okay, let's go over cheese choices real quick. I've tried a few different things. Things that work good on this are Swiss, Havarti, possibly Munster. It starts getting thin right about there. If you can find slices of Monterey Jack, that would be good. Pepper Jack cheese would be good on this. Do not put American cheese on this. Please do God, don't put American cheese on this. Unless American cheese is the only cheese you ever had, try something else. This wants something else. It really does. So we're going to go with a Swiss because it's kind of middle of the roadish. I don't want to get people going, oh my God, I can't believe you put that on there. So it's kind of middle of the roadish. It's not really too adventurous. But we are putting more pickles down. I'm making two of these. I'm making two, folks. It's a twofer. Okay, can you tell I'm excited? I'm a little excited about this. I'm sorry. I'll calm down. Not. Come on. What are you, new here? I'm excited. This is super yummy. This is amazing. And that giant chicken breast will make 3 of these sandwiches. Plan accordingly. If you make them this big. That's a big sandwich. And yeah, the reason I'm not dressing this and I'm making both of those is because I kind of want the cheese to melt a little bit. This cheese is already melting because that's hot. The second we put the slaw down on here, and look at how amazing the slaw is, by the way. Let's see here. Let's give this a, oh, ain't she pretty? This is why you have to be careful when you dress it. It looked like it was really lightly dressed. This is heavily dressed. So it's perfect for this because, again, we don't have a condiment on this. We don't have any sort of mayo or anything else going in here. That is your condiment. Okay, that looks really good, doesn't it? It does. And the final thing we have to do is put the crown on. We're crowning our pulled pollo sandwiches. I'm moving this stuff real fast. Do I even need to say words? Seriously. Come on. That's freaking gorgeous. You want to eat that as bad as I do, but I need to take a thumbnail of it, so hold on one second. Okay, folks, I gotta dig into this sucker because, oh my God, are you kidding me? I love this sandwich. It is one of my all-time favorites. It was just a, not too proud to say, kind of a drunken endeavor of what do we have and what can I throw together. And I had some barbecue chicken that I had left over. I had some coleslaw that I had left over and some things. I stuffed French fries in this the first time I made it. That's the only time I did that. Didn't need to do it, but this sucker right here, I'm going in. I know what this tastes like. I've made this 1,000 times. I know exactly what this tastes like. And prepare for my eyes to roll back in my head and yeah. Come on, going in. That is insane. Oh my God, it's so insane. Yeah, the coleslaw is like really, really dressed. But you need it to be because it's the only condiment in here, basically. It's the only sauce that you have in here other than the barbecue sauce. So yeah, it's a little overdressed. I know. You can leave me the comment about it anyways. But it's got that little kick to it. That little, yeah. That is so amazing. The dry rub on there, the little smoke on it that I can't taste and I'll pretend that I can. The pickles. God, the pickles. And the cheese. Please don't put American cheese on it. Here, you'll kill it. That is the pulled pollo sandwich right there. Please make that. And when you do, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, because I know what you're going to think. That's life-changing sandwich. Okay, maybe it's overstating it slightly a bit. But if you've had pulled pollo before, that recipe right there is better. I will argue with anyone who says differently. In the comment section, of course. So thanks for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed the heck out of this as much as I'm going to enjoy the heck out of eating that. And my wife's going to enjoy the heck out of eating that one. I better stop talking, otherwise they're going to get cold and I'm going to get in trouble. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Till then, have a good one. Bye.